crypto market and Bitcoin forecast for July 24th through August 22nd using astrology to analyze the trends of this cycle. This cycle looks to be a mix of both fear and greed, with the blend of large transits occurring throughout this cycle. The new moon will reflect this energy, which occurs on July 24th in the sign of Leo, with the sun being the ruler of this moon, and both the sun and the moon are in positive aspects to Saturn, to Neptune, and Uranus. Sun and the moon are also in challenging aspects to Pluto, creating this blend of positive, negative, volatile movement throughout the cycle. This is the chart of the general transits. As you can see, we have the sun and the moon in Leo at 2 degrees, degree of Taurus, finances, money, banking, signaling positive movement, especially with the positive conversations the sun and the moon are having with Neptune, Saturn, and Uranus, especially Uranus. Challenges could come in with the sun and the moon opposite, having a challenging conversation to Pluto. This is exact on the 25th. So the day of the new moon could be overall positive, with the end of the day more showing signs of negative momentum, starting to have challenging prices, more red in the markets. Coin's chart is similar to the general transits. Now, usually the transits on the day of the new moon set the stage for the rest of the month. Lilith is in this positive aspect conversation with Bitcoin's sun. This is very positive. This will be exact 2 days after this new moon. This could influence and help to mitigate some challenges of the challenging Pluto conversation that the sun and the moon are having in the general charts. But Pluto is pretty intense, so I do expect the day after and the end of the day on the new moon to be challenging. So to recap, that day of the new moon, expect overall positive. Towards the end of the day, maybe more challenging. The influence of Lilith could help to mitigate some of those challenges at the end of the day on the new moon and the day afterwards. But by the 26th, the market should be moving back in a positive direction. On the day of the new moon, because the moon is opposite to Mercury and Jupiter, this is also signaling having some challenges throughout the month. Chiron stations retrograde on the 30th. Of this month. This is the general chart. This will be bringing up some challenges from the past into the crypto market, causing challenges within the prices, challenging momentum. During the new moon, the sun and the moon will be in a square to Chiron. So this will definitely be bringing up some challenges from the past. It's in Bitcoin's 4th house, so this will be regarding things that have to do with the foundation of Bitcoin. This could be the support levels, possibly support levels are lowered. Support and resistance levels could be challenged during this time with Chiron here stationing retrograde, because it's in Aries, the bottom part of Bitcoin's chart. That could be one of the issues, is the support levels and the resistance levels, lowering them or moving back into where they were previously from, obviously, their all-time highs. Now, Chiron will be retrograde for a period of time. That doesn't mean that the prices will be negative for the whole entire period, but it's adding on to the other retrograde planets of Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde. So it's just adding more challenging dynamics into the mix. August 1st, Venus will be in an opposition to Bitcoin's Pluto. This is also another challenging day because Venus is a very important planet in Bitcoin's chart. So again, I do expect some challenges, and especially with that Chiron stationing retrograde, this will be adding fuel to the fire of this challenging momentum. On the 8th, we have Saturn squaring to Bitcoin's Pluto and Mars squaring to Bitcoin's Pluto. And on the 9th, Jupiter is opposite Bitcoin's Sun. This is a challenging period for the market, just because these are big players happening here. They're outer planets. Saturn and Jupiter, both outer planets, they take a longer time to move. So we could start to see some of these challenges building beginning on the 6th of August. So the first week in August, the 1st through the full moon on the 9th, very challenging conversations these planets are having. So I do expect this first week to have overall challenging momentum for the market. The full moon will happen during this time. There is a kite pattern occurring with Saturn and Neptune at the top opposite to Mars. Full moon in Aquarius could surprise us and could be positive because the moon in Aquarius is very friendly to crypto and Bitcoin. With this kite pattern occurring, it could be more challenging though. This energy could dominate and mitigate any type of positiveness from the moon being in Aquarius. I do see this as a challenge, and when this kite pattern does end, that's when we could start to see when Mars starts to move away, that's when this pattern will end. During this time, and I say this is going to be a very volatile month because there's so much happening. There's a lot of challenges happening along with a lot of positive transits and conversations occurring. On August 11th, when this kite pattern will still be occurring, we have Saturn in a sextile to Uranus. Now, this occurred August 4th this past year when the tariffs came out and the whole markets crashed. It's the time when Neptune just moved into the sign of Aries. Venus, Mercury were retrograde. As Saturn and Uranus come into this sextile, Saturn will be retrograde, but Mercury will be just stationing direct. So this could prove to be a very positive time. This could be when the markets suddenly start to break out around the 11th, right? Again, either around the full moon, right after the full moon, we could see the pattern shifting from this challenges that we had in the first week of August, shifting over to more of a positive, moving up, prices moving up, moving past resistance. Keep in mind, this energy is revisiting the energies that we had on April the 2nd. So anything is possible during this time, because back in April, I did forecast that it was going to be a positive time. It was not. So either the market will be extremely positive or it could be extremely negative. It'll be a period of extreme movement within this time frame from the full moon beyond. It'll be a period of extreme market movement. Saturn Uranus sextile could prove to be very positive, but it could also prove to be very negative. It'll just be something that you're going to have to watch. The markets will just all of a sudden start to move in one direction or another. This kite pattern is a challenge, and a lot of times when there is a kite pattern, the market moves in a negative direction, and then when this kite pattern is gone and is over with, that's when the markets start to move. But regardless, the markets will move strongly in one direction or another from the full moon on. We're going to see the market moving in an extreme direction, either positive or negative. August 12th, Venus will be in a conjunction to Jupiter. Now, this could help to push the prices in more of a positive direction, especially with Mercury stationing direct on the 11th when the Saturn sextile Uranus occurs. But again, we also will have Saturn in a square to Bitcoin's Pluto during this time. So volatility could be at an all-time high Yes, volatility could be at an all-time high during this time, and it will be an either or, either positive or either negative. It will not be in the middle. It will be an extreme market movement during this time. And I would say starting the full moon, August the 9th is when the full moon happens. Start to watch the markets for strong movement again in either direction. The last week in this cycle, from August, we'll say the 14th through the 22nd, depending on how Uranus Sextile Saturn goes, this could be more a positive period because we have the North Node conjunct to Bitcoin's Uranus on the 18th. Now, this could further amplify Saturn-Uranus sextile if that does propel the market into a positive direction. If it does not, and it has been negative for the market, this transit of North Node conjunct Bitcoin's Uranus could be what turns the market around. This cycle is going to be, as I said in the beginning, a mix of positive and challenging momentum, volatility strongly throughout this cycle because of the large mix of these positive and challenging transits occurring during the same time, and just creating this mix of this back and forth tensions of pushing the market up and then pulling it back down. Very volatile cycle. It could surprise us all, especially with Uranus, and be very positive outcome. But it could also, on the other side of it, be a very challenging market. It's going to be a surprise, I believe, this cycle. It's going to surprise all of us in the direction that it takes, in the prices that occur from all these transits. With Uranus in Gemini now, we have Saturn, Neptune in Aries, Jupiter is in Cancer. The dynamics have shifted, the dynamics are changed for the markets, for the cycle of the markets. So what occurred in the past and how things have been are different from what they will be now. What we could expect, this many days after the halving, this is what occurs, and then this is what happens, this is when altcoin season happens, is different, I believe. Especially with the changing dynamics of the planets. Things are different and will be happening at different times and different cycles than they normally do occur. Watching the markets, if you're trading, is the best advice, because things could happen suddenly without a moment's notice, especially in the environment that we're in, geopolitically, economically, and everywhere in between. I am an astrologer. If you would like an astrology reading for your personal trading or for a specific coin, message me or click the link here on the screen. I offer free 15-minute consultations. Get in touch with me and we can discuss what you're looking for, whether it's a reading for a specific coin or for yourself, which is the best way to go. Knowing what the energies are in your charts will greatly help with your own personal trading strategy. If you have issues with crypto, I can also help you with any type of troubleshooting that you may have. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and share.